Hey, it's X's and O's on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings Radio Network, and I'm Paul Allen, your play-by-play voice. Happy to be joined weekly by Minnesota Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer, and this is courtesy of U.S. Bank. Man, I mean, you guys have had some gut busters this year. I mean, whether you're winning games or losing games, just part of the business, right?
Yeah, they've seems like they've all been close games or down at the wire in the fourth quarter, and I guess that's good. We're trying to get understanding how we have to finish these games in the fourth quarter. We've had a lot of them this year, and hopefully these young guys are growing up.
You know, Mike, I know from that Atlanta game into the bye, out of the bye, Lambeau, Dalvin breaks spirit to where you are now. Undoubtedly, you've seen progress, but do you feel that sometimes they hit a point where it's like one step up, one step back? Is that accurate and tough to push through?
I think the biggest thing, Paul, is we don't have a lot of room for error, especially with some of these young guys. And so we have to make sure that, they're on point for 4 quarters or 60 minutes. And, them having to understand when to make a play to win the football game and so on and so forth. Last week, we moved the ball great all day long. And, we end up with 16 points or whatever it was. We don't score touchdowns in the red zone last week. And so, that'll be a big emphasis for us this week going forward.
And the Bears noon U.S. Bank Stadium home finale, not due to the kicker struggles of late, but how often do you guys talk about going for 2 more frequently? I mean, the Vikings 2-point game is fantastic.
Yeah, we've done good in that area. Unfortunately, we've needed some of them. And, I think the biggest thing, though, Paul, is, you don't want to chase points early in the ball game. You want to wait until the situation is right. And, I think, with their defense, points could be hard to come by this week.
Now, with a couple of those awful calls in the end zone in the Tampa Bay game, I mean, I would imagine nothing you can do about it. Does sending in plays, does that even help?
Doesn't help the outcome, that's for sure. But, it kind of makes you feel a little bit better that you were correct in what you thought, and that, you really want the officials to be held accountable the best that you can, and trying to get them to understand that when they make a call that is incorrect, obviously they're not doing it on purpose, but it affects a whole bunch of people's livelihood.
Now, you've talked a lot about the kicker this week. I'm just going to ask you this. I mean, Dan's one of the most reliable in history of the NFL. You've said that a million times. Any idea what happened or like what's happening?
Not really. I've talked to him and visited with him about it. And, he came out after halftime and kicked great. He kicked in pregame and kicked great. I think it's just one of those days. So he'll continue to do better.
Tyler Conklin, he has a chance, doesn't he? I mean, he jumped up nicely for you at Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he continues to get better. You could tell this year he was more comfortable understanding the system, and he's really an all-around player. He does a nice job in pass protection, does a good job in the run blocking, and he runs good routes and catches the ball well.
Do you tape the top of your mask so your glasses don't fog, and does it work?
Well, I did this last week because it was steamy. My glasses were fogging up. The mask was sticking to my face. It was really miserable the whole time. I took that tape off at halftime, but every time I breathed, my glasses would fog up.
So now you got the mask sticking to your face. You got your glasses falling down. You got a couple of awful calls, a bunch of missed kicks. Other than that, Miss Lincoln, how was the play?
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
You got the tape atop your mask, but you still, if you're going to yell at the refs, or if you're going to talk to somebody, you still got to pull it down, right?
Yeah, and I was sweating underneath it, so it wasn't sticking good. It was, but that's what they told us, when they came out with this mask protocol stuff. Oh, if you just tape it, that's what the doctor's saying. Operating room,
right?
But the operating rooms, the operating room's about 60 degrees. It's not 90 degrees.
Brilliantly stated. Mike Zimmer, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, X's and O's. What was it like at Raymond James with fans? Did they 16,000 or whatever? Did they impact the game?
I'm not sure they impacted the game. You did hear some mess talking by some of the fans, and you could hear a little bit. You could hear some noise, during some of their big plays and things like that. But it was. I told Eric Sugarman, our trainer, before the game. I said, "Is this weird here?" He said, "Yeah. It's like, there's kind of fans here, but there's not really, and I don't know. It just pregame seemed strange to me."
And I don't know if you watch Monday Night Football, your former offensive coordinator, Kevin Stefanski, came down to the wire with Harbaugh. Very exciting game. I mean, that place looked like it was 3/4 full, whatever the name of that stadium is, the Dog Pound or whatever. It's just weird,
Yeah, it's different in every place and every state and every stadium. But, we wish we had our fans there. They would be a big factor in the ballgame this week like they always have been. And, we'll just have to go in there and play our hearts out for them.
What has gotten into running back David Montgomery of late for the Bears? Just he came off that injury bit and he looks pretty good.
Yeah, he does. He had a 90-yard, 80-yard run first play of the game last week against Houston. He's always been a physical runner. He likes his own runs where he can get in the gun area and then come back across the formation. They do a good job with that, and our RPOs off of it.
Now, this 58 Roquan Smith played out of his mind against the Texans, and he even had a couple of sacks. Is Roquan's running maybe his best attribute?
Yeah, but he can really run, but he's physical and he's instinctive. He's a sideline to sideline guy, good blitzer, good pressure guy. They've got a lot of good players on their defense.
And speaking of running, this Cousins running facet to his game, I mean, it seems to be helping. It's like when he takes off, he ran for 41 yards, career high at Tampa Bay. That has to help, right?
It has to help. Typically it's going to slow down the pass rush. It's going to change some of the coverages that they run. Anytime you have a quarterback that will scramble, it changes your mentality a little bit defensively.
Now, what if anything, Mike, did Tampa Bay do to limit the deep game to Thielen and Jefferson, or was it there and you just couldn't get to it?
Well, a lot of it, Paul, they were playing a lot of swipe two-man coverage where they would take the safety and put him down in the box for the running game, and it was a pass, then he'd run out to the X receiver, and the corner would actually play the safety. And then on the front side, they'd roll over to the front side and play two-man over there. So, they had safeties up over the top of our receivers, and that's why the tight ends became such a big factor.
Right.
And the running by Court and by Kirk.
Yeah. With Justin Jefferson, what his progress at this stage of the season into the final three, how impressed are you with his overall progress?
Extremely impressed. He's a really good player. Has a chance to keep ascending. The thing I love about him, he competes, loves to go get the football. He's getting better in his blocking, which is important for Dalvin. These guys understand that Dalvin has a chance to go all the way. If the receivers are tight, the guys outside will block for him as well. And but he catches the ball so well. He's got great, unbelievable hands, and starting to really understand the program better and better.
You were in Cincinnati with AJ Green. Any similarities?
Yeah, I think there are some similarities. When AJ was a rookie, I can remember his first year, just how well he caught the ball, how strong his hands were, and that, JJ will be a little bit thicker, I think, when it's all said and done, and AJ's a little bit taller, but they both have outstanding hands and they both have outstanding speed, and I really like Justin a lot.
So lastly, are you guys, I would assume you guys are going to work Sunday night after the Bears game because you come back 5 days later against New Orleans. Is that accurate?
Yeah, we'll treat it like it's a a Thursday game with one extra day. So we'll more than likely take Monday to game plan, and then Tuesday and would be a Wednesday, and Thursday would be a Thursday, Friday, whatever it is. Friday, Saturday, whatever.
That's the verbal version of your taped mask on your face at Tampa Bay. What just happened there, isn't it?
It's hard to put this Wednesday as a Tuesday and Tuesday as a Wednesday.
Now, it turns out we have 45 seconds left. I mean, any final comments on the officiating at Tampa Bay? What about the fan situation at US Bank Stadium? Would you care to elaborate?
Yeah, I better not on that either.
I hope you win 3 in a row, get to the playoffs, and Chicago first. I hope you win 1 in a row, and then we'll deal with New Orleans later. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Paul.